how can we be more cause over life? How can we actually put ourselves in a position of having an effect on the world around us instead of being at effect of the world around us? That's the question I'm going to dive into today. And I'm not speaking from a place of expertise, but I'm speaking from a place of talking to my prior self who was confused, depressed, struggling in life, lacking direction, lacking purpose, lacking any sort of creativity going on in life, not necessarily in the artistic sense, but I mean creating life. I mean looking at life and saying, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go create that goal. I'm going to go create that in my life. I'm going to go have that relationship. That's honestly the simplest idea of personal development is just, if you're creating life, you're going to be a lot happier.
Track number 8.
We're much less happy when we're at effective life, when we start thinking like, oh, well, I'm too old for that, or it's because of that, or, well, it's not really my fault, it's just my lot in life. It was because of my mom or because of my whatever it might be. And it's like it's a giving away of responsibility, saying it's somebody else's fault, not mine. And even if it was for some reason somebody else's fault, it's kind of crazy how when you actually take full responsibility, and I'm not saying I do this, but I'm attempting to in a lot of ways, and you say, I'm going to cause something in my life, I'm going to create something. You know, that person that was talking down on me, instead of just like, you know, shying away from that, I'm going to go tell them, hey, I would like some respect. You know, I didn't feel respected by you. And, you know, I'm trying to do something to tell that person, hey, I'm not somebody that can be walked on, you know? Whatever it might be, even if it's just writing out some things you want to change in your life, some things you want to grow, do. I heard this idea recently. I don't want to miss the train here. So I heard this idea recently that when we're born as kids, sorry, I got my wife some food I'm going to bring back for her. But when we're born as kids, we start out as like these really big people. Like, we have so many big dreams and goals, and we can basically do whatever we want. We think we can have what we want. I mean, how many times you're like, Mom, I want this, and she's like, you can't have that, and that's okay. I'm not saying that's wrong, but we can have whatever we want, and we can dream so big, and then someday comes along where, you know, we don't feel like we're causing anything, and so we get a little smaller. You know, we look at life and we say, well, I don't know if I can do anything about that, and you kind of just shrink that locus of control, that area, the things in your life that you can actually do something about. It gets a little smaller. And so instead of having an effect or causing an effect on something, you start being effect of something. And that just snowballs, and it just snowballs, and it snowballs. And all of a sudden you were this little kid who could take on the world, and now you can't take on anything. You can't even, you know, for me it was like I can't even get out of bed and go live a life. I was just depressed, laying in bed, just being affected by the TV shows and the food and the things that I was putting in my body that wasn't doing me any good, you know? So I would ask you, what, if anything, is there a situation in your life that you feel some sort of negative emotion to, some sort of pain, anger, frustration, fear, doubt, worry, sadness, some kind of lower tone emotion, lower energy emotion? And what is that situation, and can you do something about it? You know, and really think about that and ask yourself, what can I do to be a little more cause over that thing? I mean, to be honest with you, we probably all have 10, 15, 20 of these situations, whether it's a person or it's a life situation. Oh, my knee's just never going to get better, or, you know, that relationship's never going to improve, or whatever. But ask yourself, what can I do about it? How can I be a little more cause today? And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that you can do something about it. I hope that makes sense. I love you guys out there. Have a good day.